Hello and welcome to Magical Marker, a game of Dungeons and Dragons and drawings. We're a bunch of cartoonists and illustrators who won't just be playing the game, but we'll be doodling what happens along the way. It's a PG-13 story of teens and tweens on their first big adventure on their own. So let's introduce everybody and who you'll be playing. Let's start off with Priscilla.
Hi, I'm Priscilla, and I play Isburiel, the half-elf bard, who is 17 years old, and from the Basilic Kingdom.
And Boya.
Hello, I am Boya. I play an orphan. His name is Bug, and he's a warlock bugbear. He's 12 years old. Yeah.
And who's your companion that travels with you?
And he travels with his friend named Boxy, who is a box. And he carries everyone's stuff.
And a spider.
Yeah.
Oh, and a little spider named Tato. Yeah.
And how about Caitlin?
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I play Zip. She is a drow fighter and she's 16 years old.
And Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I play Swell, who is a 15-year-old Water Ganassi cleric who worships the Tempest god Sunda. Bit of a nomad and like to travel around the Rainbow Archipelago.
And I'm your Dungeon Mancer, Brian. I'm currently playing the party's NPC companion Sutran, a magically animated severed hand from decades ago, who is searching for her other hand to magic herself back a body. Let's have an amazing 80s music, 90s music cartoon intro for the show now. Hello, welcome back. Last week, the adventurers, you all, set sail aboard a sloop called the Money, captained by Aelrith Highfeather, a glam rock elf. There was a welcome aboard ritual where each of you was given a name by the ship's treasure chest figurehead, apparently able to speak because the ship was made from the body of the soul of a large sea folk tree folk. All of you seemed relatively happy with your new nicknames and settled into your bunks. Swell sulked, Bug trained as magical hat animals, Zip made everyday arm day, Isburiel got to know the crew and wrote songs, and Sutran has been reading books. Boxy, aka Big Tiny, has been chilling. It wasn't long before the group encountered a shipwrecked elf from the Basilic Kingdoms. They brought Valric Elderroot, a noble from the ruling Godsmead family, aboard the ship, and offered to let him join to their destination on Brightpalm. He was thankful, but there has been a somewhat cold and distant space between them since he's arrived, especially between him and Isburiel, who's a fellow elf from the same area. His rum-filled ship had been scuttled by pirates. The crew is insisting that they call him by his ship name, Golden Bare Knuckles, instead of his royal title, which is getting his goat. The next day passed without incident, but on their third day, on a slow, foggy day, Bug and Swell discovered a pair of invisible stowaway sprites. While trying to capture the ridiculous tricksters with Isburiel, a mess was made and a chaotic scene of toilet humor and slapstick comedy ensued. Bug realized his echolocating bat would be able to spot the invisible troublemakers. Sure enough, they caught the gruff Frumph and silly Oopla and asked why they were causing trouble. The two Fey folk were bored with life on Sleeping Fire, that's the island that they had come from, and wanted to hitch a ride out of there. They agreed not to prank the party anymore and focus mostly on Golden Bare Knuckles from now on. And that's where we pick up today on day 4 of your journey. Who wants to roll a d8 for the weather and who wants to roll a d20 for your random encounter for the day?
Someone hasn't rolled yet.
We've all rolled for one thing or another, but not for... So I'll do the weather this time.
Okay.
Maybe. Do you know? It's looking at my dice. for my cat. I guess it's not going to show up on the stream, actually, but anyway. Right. 1.
1. The fog continues. It's still
Yes.
slow going, so it's only a half-day travel. Unfortunately, because of the fog. Who
So
wants to?
we lost the whole day.
Yeah, you started off like with only half a day at sea because you guys left late. So you're kind of like on a regular schedule now, but you've lost half a day with this, unless something unusual happens, like if you guys have a way to deal with it.
Well, I rolled a nat 20 on the d20 roll.
Okay. So perhaps because you're going so slow going, you're actually able to, you're hanging out, keeping an eye out through the fog. You know, they've asked to have some extra eyes above board. So anybody who wants to be above board, let me know.
So how many days into the travel are we now?
This would be your 3rd and a half day out of hopefully 10 to 14. 10 if you believe Aelrith, 14 if you travel by regular boat. So who knows what it's actually going to be.
I'll probably go up on deck at some point and just make like maybe a few hours or like half my waking day, just try and cast the control water cantrip to create that.
Is this not the 4th day? I thought the sprites happened on the 3rd day. There was just a storm on the 2nd and rescuing the...
Yeah, so this would be the 4th day, but you've only, it's your 4th day of actually being a sea, but you've only really progressed 3.5 days of actual travel because of or of distance, I should say.
Right.
Anybody else want to be above board?
What does above board do? Is like helping?
Yeah, just keeping an eye out in the fog, trying to spot things.
I can do it. Am I still seasick or anything?
Let's do a Constitution check. Constitution saving throw.
16.
All right, you're feeling better. You're starting to get your sea legs.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go above board and stretch my legs.
All right.
Get some fresh air.
All right. Well, I guess it's the two of you who are on the sort of up near the figurehead, keeping an eye out. The dragonfly is crouched atop the mast, which is like there's no crow's nest up there, but because he can fly, he can zip up there and sort of balance, in a strange dragonfly-like way. And you guys out in the front, give me perception checks.
Ooh, 21.
2.
2. All right. So, Bug, you're actually walking around, or you're talking to Boxy instead of really looking out at the side or something. You're trying to talk to Tato. And Swell, you're enjoying watching the sea, and you spot something. You see some, what looks like planks of wood from a broken ship.
Yeah, I guess I'll...
Tattered sail. You're starting to see some...
basically, there's a wreck. I think there's a wreck ahead.
The helmsman or helmsperson adjusts course, and they sort of slow their speed, and they're already going pretty slow because it's foggy, but they slow it down even more, almost coming to a stop so that you guys can inspect what's going on here with this. Yeah, you see a lot of flotsam and potentially jetsam.
Smells my favorite. I prefer it. At the call, Isburil will emerge from the deck just to see what's going on. There's not a lot to do around here, so anything is seized upon.
So is the ship still moving forward, or they slow it down?
They basically slowed it down to basically a crawl. Like it's being moved by the waves, right? They haven't weighed anchor,
Right. Okay.
but
Well,
the sails are down.
I'll stop doing the control for the, what is it, shape water, and start actively scanning around to see if I can see anything else.
There's all
like-
sorts of stuff there for you to, really get a good look. You maybe want to dive into the water or take I mean, they don't have like a little lifeboat, but you could, go and swim around and see what was there and investigate it if you wanted.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll just be like, all right, I'll be right back, and I'll just kind of jump overboard, climb up on the railing, and then like straight into the
How
water.
far away is it distance-wise?
Like you're floating in the middle of it, like it's come up beside you, like little planks have bumped into the side of the ship.
Okay. Can I say that I've had my invisible servant around? Or, I mean, I can also just cast a spell to summon him now.
Okay.
So, and then, so I wave a hand and say, go look for anything that's not soaked wood.
Okay.
And come back and tell me if you find anything.
Golden Bare Knuckles says, anybody else going? If you don't go, I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go check it out. I'm gonna go. Looks fun.
All right. So
Jump in, I guess.
the waves here, it's not super, like if you know how to swim, you're going to be fine. It's not super dangerous. It's a little bit choppy, but I'm not going to make you make a check. But I want you to make an investigation check. Anybody you can make one for your unseen servant, Priscilla, and Swell and Bug, because you're in the water. Let's see what you can find.
18.
Do I just roll a d20 for that? Or do I use my own stats for this? I don't think they actually...
I don't think they're statted out having any intelligence, so I think they would just have a straight D20 roll.
Okay.
Is your unseen servant a good swimmer? A good diver?
Well, it doesn't breathe, so... and it has no mass, so I assume so.
I assume it's just sort of floating around, walking around the surface.
It also has no eyes, so it rolls a 4.
Okay.
17 for me.
Okay. With the 18, Bug, you're able to find like a big chest that's floating. It's made out of wood, so it's floating. Whatever's in it isn't so heavy that it's sunk to the bottom. And Swell, you're able to find a bunch of barrels that are floating that look like they're still intact. And you are able to tie them with the rope that's still floating around into some sort of like, you connect this one to that one and then to that one, and you can pull, like, send it up to the boat and have everybody pull the boat or the barrels aboard the boat if you would like.
Do I see anything underwater? I'd be like diving underwater as well.
Okay.
To see.
So under the water, you don't see any, like, it's a little bit deep to be able to see if there's something sunk right here,
Okay.
but you don't see anything clearly visible. You don't see any. There's lots of fish swimming around, but not like you would
There's
see
no
in like a big
bodies
coral reef,
floating
but
like 10 feet below water or anything like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll
And with-
lash together a few of these barrels. Do they have like any stamping, any markings on them?
yes, they're from they've got the symbol of the rum company from Rum Haven, or Rum Rumble.
Okay, so I'm automatically thinking these must be that guy's lost cargo.
Might be.
anyway, I'll lash a few together and bring them aboard, or like into a spot where like people can start bringing them aboard.
So yeah, after you spend some time, you're able to retrieve many barrels of rum and the big chest.
Nice.
Kind of look at the symbol, the sigil of the rum bowl in the chest and go, I say, I wonder if these are... And then I look toward Belric and I ask him to look at the chest and then I don't say anything more. And
He's
just start to
looking-
open the chest. Yeah.
Okay. He's looking at them and he's like, this looks like perhaps the pirates who scuttled me were scuttled themselves. This is good stuff. Looks a lot like my cargo.
And do
Thank
know
you for
what's-
finding it, good man.
Does the chest have any visible like marks of ownership or branding?
No, it looks fairly generic.
Does it look like it has a... Can I check for traps?
You can absolutely check for traps.
Cool. Does it be investigation? Or perception?
Investigation. Unless you want to
was a
look for
one.
Oh no!
unless you want to look for magical traps, in which case that's Arcana.
I think
But
it's
if you're looking for regular traps, you get a 1. You think it's trapped.
And I hold out a hand and say, careful, careful. I think this little thing here, and I point out a splinter that's clearly like a splinter that just kind of jammed into, is poking out of the lock. I think that's poisoned. And I will very carefully attempt to undo this trapped chest.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand check. If you have thieves' tools, you are allowed to add your proficiency bonus.
That's weird. I should have proficiency in thieves' tools, but for some reason it's not showing out. Anyway. Well, I rolled a 19, so
Nice.
either way, it's very high.
You disarm the trap.
Carefully
the
flick it
splinter
away
out.
with tweezers. Yeah. And then fling it overboard.
You're like this the whole time, just carrying it. Like,
Yeah.
cool. It's gone.
Careful.
What would have
Shan't be
happened?
surprised if we see some fish bobbing up in our wake.
What would have happened if you got a 1? Like, would you just get poisoned by this?
By my own
You pass out.
tetanus.
Yeah.
Psychosomatic poison.
Okay, well, can we open the chest? Is it locked? Maybe we try opening it.
It appears to be locked.
Okay. What's in? I asked what's his name? Brightpalm. What's his name?
Oh, I thought the role was to unlock it as well as untrap it, but either way.
No, that was to just disarm the trap.
Okay. I can attempt to unlock it as well.
Oh,
Another sleight of hand?
Yes, please.
If I roll a 1 on this, I swear.
Oh no! Did you?
So it's 8 plus proficiency, which I have. Do I add? So I have. No, I don't actually. Okay. So that's 10.
10.
Wait, you're not proficient with these tools? I thought you were.
I'm proficient with thieves' tools, or should be.
Ah.
I don't know what's not showing on D&D Beyond. I'm not proficient in sleight of hand apparently,
Oh.
but I would add it anyway, right?
Oh, so it's not a sleight of hand check. It's just it's a dexterity check with proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's usually what it is. I'm sorry if I misspoke earlier.
Yeah, that's 9 then.
9. Yeah, it's It's a toughie. It's probably because it's been a sea long enough that it's all rusted up.
Jiggling and like,
What's in here? Like, I want to ask the guy.
Well, we had a variety of things. My guess would probably be some sort of fabric was in this one. It wasn't just my stuff we were bringing back. I was in charge of... Sorry, why am I doing that voice? I was in charge of doing the... bringing back the rum and the coffee and the chocolate. So I think it was another person who was traveling with me that was bringing back some fabric. Would you like me to crack it open? It
Yeah.
appears as if our super strong elf is not here, so we need our other super strong elf to crack this open.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
yeah. The lock has swollen shut.
It's
Take your
no
best.
problem. And he just goes like that and just cracks the lid and just like, you know, the hinges break at the back, but not enough that it's completely damaged. Like just the wood breaks a little bit and some of the pins pop out, or the screws, and then he flips it open. He's like, fabric, just as I expected. And you can see that it is like day glow fabric from the village that you guys passed through.
Did he grab? Did he just open it, or did he like grab anything out of it?
He hasn't taken anything out of it, no.
I want to make sure he's not trying to do like a sneaky on us.
Oh, you can do a perception check then.
Oh. Okay, it's a 5. Nearly a natural 20.
You don't notice him do anything unusual. He seems too far away from it to have done anything.
Okay.
He says, well, this fabric, that's not mine, but the rum is from my family. It's from... I've lost so much already. I hope that I keep the rum and you can keep the fabric, and we'll call it even, if you're agreeable. I believe the fabric is worth a lot more than these few barrels of rum, but this is what I came for. This is a very good brand.
Okay, well, I mean, that sounds reasonable.
Fair enough. It would be a shame if you were to lose all of your fortunes on, or at least your personal stake in this on one trip.
Yeah.
Although, certainly, it would be very kind of you to crack open one of these barrels and share some with us at some point on the trip.
I believe that would be agreeable. We will not drain the keg, but
Of course.
we can lighten it. At which point Aelrith is saying, actually, I will point out that this is a lot of barrels, and that's a lot of extra weight. We might be going a little bit slowly, so I think, I have to check in with the people who commissioned me to come, or to sail them where they're going. If this slows us down a little bit, are you okay with it? We usually travel super light, right? We don't have 20
We are the
barrels
people
of
who commission you
rum.
to sail us.
Oh, wait, how many barrels is this?
It's like 20 barrels.
How long did we spend, like, carrying this up, transporting it?
Probably like it was half an hour of,
Half an-
swimming around to try and find everything you could. Like you were, scouring around looking for the best stuff, right? And then trying to get it aboard, and then trying to open it. And
Yeah.
I was under the impression that we are the ones who hired you to carry us.
so that's why I'm checking with you guys. Golden
Okay.
Bare Knuckles doesn't make the decision about whether we keep these or throw them back overboard. It's your
Very
call.
kind of you, albeit circuitous. Well, as I said, I'm happy to take on these barrels. It seems that we are making slower work anyway. So if the weather continues as it has been.
All right, fair enough. Just want to make sure that
Well, can we?
everything is spoken clearly so there are no misunderstandings later.
Well, can we ask the that guy if he can sort of like give us anything for keeping the barrels, allowing him to keep the barrels.
He told you could have the cloth, which was worth more.
Okay, that was what.
Do I get the sense that is actually the case?
What sort of check do you think you should do for that? Like, do you want to do history? Do you want to do insight? Like, are you trying to read him, or are you trying to figure out,
Yeah.
like, can I do the math?
I think this is more him trying to do the math, so it'd probably be history. I feel like D&D needs to start adding like an economics or bureaucracy stat.
I really
An
hope
economics
that
roll.
if they do
Yeah.
that, they actually figure out how the economics work. Because I honestly, I mean, in all the years I've played Dungeons and Dragons, I don't understand the
It's
price
very-
of
it's
anything
just-
compared to how much you make. Like, when you find a dragon's hoard, it's like,
Oh yeah.
No.
No, like you instantly become filthy rich. Even like a level 2 adventurer is ridiculously rich.
yeah, how much is a
so-
weekly wage?
14.
14. You think that, yeah, it's probably true.
Like, how much do you think this is worth?
You
I
think
felt a
that
bit more than the rum.
you think that the rum is probably worth about 200 gold, and the fancy stuff is probably worth 1,500 when you start going through it, because it's not just Dayglow. They also have some of the animated imagery, and those ones cost a lot of money to enchant.
Truly a treasure chest.
It's a good thing that this chest was so well waterproofed. This is very pricey and very, very nice cloth. Boxy, you are waterproof as well, yes?
Miles,
And
The lid
that case,
opens.
I think.
A box.
Enjoy your newfound cozy insights, I suppose. I don't know where it all goes. And he starts like pouring cloth into Boxy's eternally hungry, never satisfied innards.
right? Foxy has your fabric.
Okay. So now at this point, nothing else is like fully of importance.
I mean, you guys, you made you do checks. 3 of you did checks, and that was what you got. If you guys wanted to go back in for some reason, you could try to spend some more time. It's going to take you've already been through it, so it's going to eat up more of your time if you want to do it, but there is more stuff to go through if you think you could get a better roll the next time.
Oh,
It's okay. We already got.
we've already spent enough time here, yeah.
Yeah.
Much
Gold
as
is
I
save
think
our
there
ass.
might be something down there. We could spend half a day doing this, and
Yeah.
And this is quite the nice find, as it is. But speed should be something that we look toward as well.
actually, that's a good point because I think I would be faster in the water than people in a boat. Would have I found anything else? Like,
Well,
because I'm swimming
Wait.
and I'm like shaping the water, so I'm like kind of jetting around, whereas these guys are in like a boat, kind of rowing themselves.
no, nobody else is in a boat rowing.
Oh, I
Bug is
thought.
swimming in the water. Nobody
Okay.
got in a. There's no lifeboat on this in
My
this
mistake.
sloop.
I thought a lifeboat got lowered down. Never mind.
No. Yeah, if you are like, hey, we're moving slow anyways, I want to go back and do another check. I mean, that's up to you.
What do you guys think? Think it's worth it? Should we just press on?
If you
Oh,
want to amuse yourself, I can stay up here and keep an eye out as well, but
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll take another look around.
All right. Give me another investigation check.
Only 5.
Yeah, you picked it clean. There doesn't seem to be anything else of value here.
Alright, I'll climb back on board.
All right. Should we? Let's hurry then. We have all this extra weight now. Pump the gas, crew.
Let's get a wriggle one.
What have you been eating to be pumping so much gas? My god.
And a lot of fruit so far.
Fruit intolerant.
All that protein.
I want to check in with Zip, who didn't want to, didn't get involved in any of that. Zip, are you okay? Like, is there anything you want to tell us about what you're doing?
Zip is sleeping off her latest workout.
Okay.
She should get like a muscle growth bonus for the next arm wrestle.
So that night, there's music and dancing, and the rum is cracked open. Who wants to partake in it?
I will certainly send you.
Okay.
Although, the luster is definitely has worn off since no one is forbidding me from trying it, so it's kind of more just curiosity. That's fine.
It is very fine aged dark rum, sweet, and the tiefling cook, she is offering to mix it with other citrus things and the fresh water and make it into sort of like a cocktail of sorts, or you just drink it straight. And so people are indulging in both. And during the evening, they sing a Doomhilda song. They sing, from out of the earth, Haelon gave birth to a titan of fire-breathing stone-cobbled girth. I struck with my sword, it should have cleaved a fjord, but its skin was so tough my attacks it ignored. I jumped in its maw and I shattered its jaw. If you want to stop evil, shove me in its craw. I'm the ever-loving Valkyrie, part hero, part banshee. The heralds call me Doomhilda. But get someone else to rebuild ya. And that's one of the ones that they sing that night.
Cool.
Any other business before we do a roll for the next day?
Just, I guess, keep an eye on that shipwreck guy. Kind of still don't trust him. I don't know. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, is he really a pirate? Is he Jack Sparrow? Did he get kicked off by his own crew?
I mean, I'm definitely like attempting to schmooze with him.
All right. What sort of angle are you taking with that?
I think I'm mostly doing the thing where I ask him questions about himself and let him carry the conversation to talk about himself if he so likes. If he doesn't like, then I guess, well, actually, let me know if he does take that option.
So from that, he takes the opportunity to discuss the various things that he's eaten and drank over the years, and sort of brag about his gourmand experiences and how he travels the world to discover these various places, going to wineries and refineries and seeking out the very best, because what else is there to live for but a good drink and a little adventure, nothing too dangerous.
Oh, indeed. That's the very thing that I myself say. Unfortunately, of course, sometimes it's not always given to us to choose greatness or adventure. Sometimes it is thrust upon us.
Well, this adventure seemed pretty dangerous, if you don't mind me saying. If we didn't find you, you'd still be on that island.
Yes, it's true, but I would have found another boat, if I survived. I live to tell the tale. It's usually there's not too much piracy around here. So usually we can defend ourselves pretty well, but there's been a new group that has been causing trouble as of in the last year or so, and do not care for them. I will report back about them, then maybe we can find some information about how to deal with them.
Oh, yes,
And-
and are you sure it was this group that attacked you? Did you see their insignia or a banner?
Yes, it was a group that called themselves the Wicked, and their symbol is an eye with what could be a teardrop, but it's by a candle. And so, is it a teardrop, or is it the flame, or is it both? Sort of a double symbol. And Captain Alrith is like, yeah, those dudes are bad news. We've seen them, and we just avoid them at all costs. They're pretty nasty. They've got a bad reputation for not leaving survivors. Most of the piracy that happens here, they, demand some stuff and take some of it. They don't even take all the stuff because they know that you can't take everything from the Golden Goose. But this one group is particularly heinous. Yeah, not good.
But I suppose we shall keep an eye out for such a sale. It sounds like you are very lucky indeed, or perhaps someone is watching over you, my friend.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I mean, I'd like to think that it was my quick thinking and speed and agility that got me out of it. Sorry. I guess it was my speed and agility that saved me in the day, but perhaps it was luck, or I have somebody... I mean, Swell, you are a man of the gods. Who would be looking out for me?
In the water? Well, I don't know what the water god... I was about to say unbeliever. I don't know if that's correct, because that's Forgotten
No,
Realms.
there's a nature god, and there is the storm god, who is also associated with the water.
Yeah, that was going to be my go-to, but I was like, no, because there's a specific god for water, like Poseidon or something like that, right? Like for the oceans.
No,
I don't
there
know if
isn't.
there is one. Okay.
No.
So who's the nature god then?
Lundariel,
Okay.
the ghost tree.
Okay.
It could also be Zeo, which is the eye, which is the sun, watching down on everyone, keeping things lit.
So yeah, I'll say it could be a combination of a few, but probably Sunda, because he's the one that guided us and me to find you, really. But could be any number of gods, really. I'd recommend saying just a little prayer when you find a temple. Say thanks, so you don't anger them or anything,
Well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. I'm sorry. Maybe you can lead me in a prayer or something. He asked you to teach him a little something.
Oh sure, yeah, I can teach you. I'll just give him the basic one, the Our Lord who art in heaven equivalent, which is I can't think off the top of my head, but they're basically that sort of prayer where it's
let my anger not frustrate me, but power me into action to stand up for those who need to be stood up for, whether that's myself or others.
Exactly, something like that.
That's the gist of Sunder's deal.
Yeah.
And so with that, are you happy with the information you got, Eastboreal, or did you want to try a different tact?
It's good. He's basically just kind of letting this be a slow oil, I suppose, of just making himself amenable
Okay.
to the dude, but not spending that much time with him.
All right.
Our pixie
Um,
friends like showed up again. They're kind of around all the time.
You have not seen your invisible friends, but you did notice that when you saw earlier on the deck, Bare Knuckles was walking around and he tripped and fell and realized that his shoelaces were tied, or bootlaces were tied together. And he has been since not been wearing boots. All right, for the next day, who wants to roll for weather and who wants to roll for random encounter?
I'll do a roll. What's it, a D8?
D8 for weather,
All right.
What's the encounter?
8.
D20.
15 for the D20.
All right. So for the day, you basically hit a dead calm. The fog is gone. It was pushed away by the winds, but after those winds disappear, there are no winds. The only way you're moving forward is by the will of Sundur via swell.
Yeah, so I'll get up and try and move the boat using shape water and try and create like a current that carries us in the direction that we're meant to go and see if it helps. It probably won't help much, but
Don't they have oars on this boat?
No, they don't.
Well, this boat is just powered by the wind.
Yeah.
I don't see how they could claim to be the fastest boat
Yeah.
in the fleet if they don't even have oars.
The wind is like, so that thing just sit there.
On a lifeboat.
They don't need the, they don't carry the extra weight.
Oh,
But it's big enough that you can't paddle it with oars. You know,
what
like
if the wind blows in the other direction?
then you turn your sail the other way. And you zigzag back and forth.
I mean, don't they make... And if there's no wind at all?
If there's no wind at all, then they're
Like-
stuck in a dead calm and they just wait it out.
yeah, you're kind of screwed if there's no wind. But if I can create a current,
We have
like-
a giant leaf, you know, like in Zelda.
we just like just fan the sails.
You get East Boreal, you're full of hot air anyway, it's just... yeah, you guys are able to, get it going a little bit. And so sort of, by the time, the sun is, starting to set and the sky is starting to rainbow itself, you're moving along again. And so you'll be moving through the night, with the wind speed. And it's another hour or two, and you're up
Am
on
I
deck.
finding that like the cantrip is helping at all, or is it like kind of
It's
pointless?
It's not super helpful when there's a good wind, but when you're in dead calm, that certainly saved your butt. Like it helped. Like
Okay.
it made it a lot less worse. You save some time out of that. So I'm going to count that instead of a dead day as a dead half day.
Wait, what's the cantrip? What does it do?
Shape water. It's
So
I
the water
can
is like pushing the boat.
yeah, it's only 5-foot cube, but like I can. It's instantaneous and only takes a few seconds to cast. So and it's a cantrip as well, so I can just kind of just almost like bend
There's
water
not
a little bit.
little cubes of water that's pushing the boat forward.
Basically, yeah. I think I oversold it when I was like, I can help, but
It definitely helped out today. So while the sun is setting on the horizon, silhouetted, you spot like the Secton starts making gestures, and Elrith translates this. There's a battle going on over there. A couple of ships. And and he
Oh.
pulls out his regular spyglass because the one from Zerb is, doesn't really work super well on humanoid eyes. And he's like, yeah, I can make out. It's a Vasilic Kingdom flag. It's a tree that looks like it's a sort of like a tower of a castle with leaves on it, and it's the Wicked. Looks like they're side by side, and like they're fighting on board, probably. Or
sorry,
have
the
already
Wicked
fought.
is a ship, or is that a group of pirates?
It's the group of pirates.
Okay.
They're
Like,
flying that
right
flag.
Just-
off the ship. On the two groups are fighting on the ship.
I mean, I don't know if the fight's over or if it's still going on. It's too hard to see from here. But they're side by side, and I'm seeing flashes every little while, so it looks like there's some sort of fight going on. Maybe a bit of magic being used or something.
And how long would it take us to get there?
Not that long. I mean, the wind's picked up now. Do you guys, if that's where you want to go, then we will take you. We normally don't get involved in this sort of stuff.
Well, if they're attacking them and there's two of us against one of them, either it will be two of us or one of us against a tired and already exhausted crew.
This ship doesn't have any weapons, though. It'd be
No,
a sitting duck.
Except these.
We'll get aside, and you guys can board, and we're going to go, and we'll stay where we can spy you, but we're not going to let any of them board us. This ship is not going to have somebody come aboard.
I mean, can we see how many people there are?
I mean, you guys are approaching it
Do they
now.
not
Like,
have
you,
Do
like
they
the
not have a
helmsman
spyglass?
the helmsman is adjusted course. This is like, you have the spyglass, but it is far enough away that you just spotted it, maybe a minute ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe what have we been talking for, like 2-3 minutes tops? So, you're getting closer, and because that's what you guys wanted to do.
Yeah, you get us on board, and then you leg it. If we don't help them, they're gonna kill the whole crew, and I can't. We gotta stop them.
Maybe we could
Also, I'm sure they'd be very grateful if you
hijack
do
the
us.
pirate ship so that we would have our own ship.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, wouldn't be
We
as
should
fast
see
as
if
the
the ship
money.
itself is.
Caitlin's laughing because that's what she did in my day.
Maybe that one has oars. We could probably get there faster if we rode
Or
it.
at least a rowboat.
All right. Well, let's go then.
All right, you guys are approaching this boat, and as you get closer, I should see if we
As
can
we
get
get closer, I am going to, I guess I'll go put on my armor because I don't think I did that.
Yeah, as we're getting closer and closer, I'll definitely go and put on my
Yeah.
chainmail and stuff. I think I've been getting around with just regular clothes on because falling in the water is bad when you have chainmail.
Can't you breathe underwater?
I can, but it makes it harder to swim.
And then B, you don't. Well, he vanishes under the deck, and then you don't see him come up again.
right.
Okay.
I'm just on the map page drawing us some ships. Okay, which ship do you want to come alongside? Do you want to come alongside? Do you want to board the pirate ship, or do you want to board the non-pirate ship?
Where's most of the action?
It looks like it's aboard the non-pirate ship.
Let's get on the pirate ship.
Yeah, let's get on the pirate ship. Try and sink it.
Yeah. Or no. Didn't we want to take the ship?
If we can't take it, we should sink it.
We'll just take their ship.
If we can't have it, then no one can.
And then make the pirates more desperate to kill everyone so that they can own something instead of just running away.
Surely they'll be so distracted by the fact that their ship is sinking.
Okay, here's a question for you, Brian. Do these ships, like, do they use cannons? Like gunpowder?
They might have ballistas and things
So
like
there's there's no guns in this world.
that.
Does this have a ballista as we draw closer?
The pirate vessel that does not have a ballista, but the other one does have a ballista.
Okay.
Probably has one on each side. Actually, probably has been moved to the other side. So let me just check. I'm looking at some of these ships. I was not, because this was random, I didn't actually take out these yet. Make this bigger.
What do me? Okay.
So these ships are about 20 feet across. And we've got a fairly large vessel that's the shipping one that's full of goods, and a smaller, but not as small as the sloop ship that's pulled alongside it. So this is a very rough indication of sort of what the shape is like. The blue squares indicate where they load the ship, like the hold beneath. If you look on the map page. Okay.
Do they have planks going? What's it?
Yeah, probably would be a little
And-
further apart.
Is the smaller one the pirate ship or the larger one?
Smaller one's the pirate ship.
Okay.
Actually the image is not loading from me. I wanna.
It's on the map.
Yeah, the map pages
Oh, no.
not loading. Maybe my internet's back here. I wanna try restart.
I guess there's not really any hiding the fact that another ship is coming up and coming up alongside. But despite this, Ispura is going to do his best to sneak aboard the ship while invisible.
So you're coming aboard the pirate ship side and trying to jump aboard. As your ship is getting closer, Aelrith is saying, "They spotted us. Some of them are looking at us and are getting ready. They're still fighting the battle, but I don't think we're going to be able to surprise them."
How many people seem to be on fighting? It doesn't seem like there's any people left on the pirate ship, and how big is the battle on the other ship?
Battle on the other ship, there's probably a dozen humanoids left, and then the other force seems to be all human, and they are how many are left here? I think there's about a dozen of the others as well. So it looks like the side that you're trying to join with has lost a lot of people. On the other side doesn't look like they've lost all that many.
We'll soon fix that.
Okay, so Anybody want to use the spyglass to do a perception check before you get there? Or should I make the crew do it? Because I always like to empower you guys to be the ones who are making the dice rolls.
I'll take a look.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
A critical fail.
Okay.
I'm holding it backwards. Everything looks
I'll
really
take it
far
off you.
away.
I'll take it off you, turn it around, and look through it myself. Like,
Hey. Give me a roll for spell then.
You just woke up, that's why.
natural 20, 23.
Nice.
All right.
This is how it's supposed to work.
That's
So
great.
it doesn't work, and then
What's wrong with this stupid thing? And I'm like,
So what's your total now? Well, you got a 20, but what are we adding to that?
23 total.
All right. You're pretty sure that these pirates are sun vampires. Pale skin. There's blood smeared around their mouths. There is, like, there don't seem to be very many of them injured. Some of them have, like, a sword through them and are still coming. Like, they don't seem like they're regular foes.
Okay, I'll yell out, they're vampires!
Do we have any garlic?
Given that, perhaps torching their ship might be the best course of action then, Isbriel says, and his voice emitting from apparent thin air.
Is he invisible? I'm like,
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have any fire arrows? No?
wait, is
how
there
far?
We can make.
fire? Are they weak to fire?
No, it's just that ships usually are weak to fire, and so if their ship is sunk, it accomplishes the same thing.
And we're
Oh,
not
we
going
could
to
do-
save anybody with that, though. We'll just eliminate
Well, we
both
will.
sides.
We weren't about to save anyone with stealing their ship and sailing away either.
Yep, fair enough.
Yes.
They're starting to repair, like, the cook has run downstairs and got a bunch of oil and a torch, and is like,
And
Question for you.
perhaps if
Can I bless water and make it holy water?
if you have the spell bless, then yes.
I do have the spell bless.
Otherwise, it would be something where it would require it to be, like, I would probably allow you to make holy water through some sort of ritual and spend time, like the same way you would make a potion or something, right? Like that, just by standing and reciting, you say, like, I want to spend a day making holy water. But there's
I
a
think it's part of the spell called like ceremony or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. Spell called?
I don't remember that's the exact name. But it's like a
Um,
second level thing.
I'm on board with making a quickly rigged together version of holy water from this. If you want to use a bless spell, it's up to you.
I didn't prepare it for the day, but we've been playing these days kind of like quick and loose. I'm not sure, like, if that would be okay to do. I do know the spell, though. I just don't have it prepared.
If it's not on your list, and I'm going to say, you weren't thinking you were going to use it today. Because I do
I
give
don't
you time at the beginning of the day. I say, is there anything else you guys want to do before we roll? And that would be the
I
time
didn't
to adjust
realize
your
that
spell.
was what that was. Okay.
Wait, I just saw the map. Are we on the small ship or the big one?
The plan that you thought was to try and get aboard the small one. You're not there yet. That's what you see as far as the other ships.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I will say, this brings up the question. As much of a favor I am as riding in like a hero to the rescue, I suspect if these are indeed vampires, we are instead be those fools who rushed in where angels feel tread and ended up as another snack. And while I am a snack, it's not the kind that I like to be.
Can
So perhaps if we choose to either sneak aboard and steal their ship, they will be very angry and so come after us, or if we burn their ship, they might choose to abandon the other ship that they are attacking to attempt to recover their own. Whereas if we take their ship, they have nowhere else to flee to.
So if we
Their
don't
ship.
do something, that whole crew is dead. All of
At
them.
this point, I'm not sure there's much that.
Yeah, I mean,
to stop that.
if we do the fire arrow onto their ship, it will distract them, and then they will have to tend back to their ship, and we might be able to help them that way. And
Can we
Well,
get close enough to like throw the barrels of rum and help the flames spread?
You have a good performance.
wait, we're
He
close
says
enough
aloud.
to throw it, then we're
What?
like right there. Right? How
Yeah.
hard can we throw the rum? Okay, not that far.
Somebody distract the other elf guy so we can steal his rum barrels.
He's standing up there right beside you when you said that. He's like, oh. I mean, I do not particularly have much love for this other group of elves, but I do not hate them either. I will help them if you want to help them. If you wish to leave, that's fine. If we lose the rum, we lose the rum. It's
My man.
it's your call here. I can buy more rum. We've already drank of it.
All right, well, let's see if we can get some fire. I don't know. Should we start with rum or start with fire?
Swell. Because
Why
you
not both?
Swell, because you got a natural 20 on your perception check, I want to give you another piece of information. As you put up the spyglass and you're looking again, you see that there's one of the non-vampires is doing a really good job of fighting. Like, is doing moves that surprise, like, is keeping them at bay and spinning around and is very heroically battling them off. The other people are sort of regular knights, and they're parrying and fighting, and they're doing a good job keeping them at bay. But there's one character where you're like, oh, that person, might help sway the balance.
So they've got some good fighters on their side, but they're wearing them down. How far away are we at this point? Are we still?
You're right up on that place. I was just about to say, you guys have been planning, and I want you guys to say what you're doing. Either we're going to do an initiative, or you can tell me what you're doing as a group, and we can just do it. Mm-hmm. If you have disagreeing things, if you're like, I don't want them to do that, then we'll do initiative.
Okay. As we get closer, I'll just turn to everyone and say, I'm going to get right in the middle of them, and I'm going to try and turn them. I'm going to try and get them to scatter using my divinity.
Okay, I'm going to chuck rum and I'm going to try and light it on fire. That's my plan.
You don't want
I
to.
will go with you on board the boat to try and light the fire. I think I can sneak on.
I wasn't going to go onto the boat. I was just going to try and hawk it from.
Who has a bow and arrow? Or a crossbow?
That's a good.
I have a boomerang.
All right.
Flaming boomerang.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, but it's going to come back. It's going to light our ship on fire.
Wait, I can
I have a lot of
no.
mirrors. Maybe I can angle the sunlight
Oh, yeah.
I can summon the.
through the spyglass.
I have the potato morning star.
I think I have a torch. Can I throw a torch?
The crew of the ship, like I said, the chef was taking care of that, and when she realizes that none of you have bows and arrows, she runs back down and gets some bottles and stuffs rags into the bottles and is soaking them with the rum.
Smart. All right.
And it's
Got a thinker.
And you get a raise, or at least a tip.
and
Have copper
and she's
piece.
got a fire pit going on the ship now, like a little brazier going where you can light if you want to light something. And the crew are ready to follow your lead. When one of you throws the first bottle, then there's going to be a bunch more bottles coming right after that, but they're not going to throw until they see you or hear you say now.
All right, I'll throw a bottle. What is that like? Unarmed? No.
Well,
what
wait
was
till I
that?
get on. Wait till I get on the ship, and then start throwing.
All right.
Wait, you're
Did
gonna
you-
get on the big one or the small one? The pirate ship or the main one?
I'm gonna help them fight.
On the okay.
Okay.
Try not to get yourself killed.
I mean,
Zip.
I always try.
Zip, you said you were going to throw a barrel. Are you throwing a barrel of rum or are you throwing a bottle?
I'm gonna start by trying to throw a barrel. I feel like if I could get the whole barrel on there and like really soak it.
Are you trying to get it on the deck?
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe,
I will
maybe-
suggest cracking it open first.
Sure.
I would say maybe like hoist it up with rope and then like swing it, and when it's in the right place, like cut the rope and then it like.
there's no time for this discussion.
Okay.
You're on the
I'm
Just
throwing
throw-
a barrel.
Just throw
Right,
it.
throw-
Throw
first
Like Donkey Kong, like this.
Swell. I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics check to leap from this ship to the next ship.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Acrobatics, because I'm trained in that. Wait.
Sure.
No, my athletics is high. So I'm not trained in athletics, but it's higher, so I'm going to do that instead.
Great. Go for
Oh,
that.
what was it?
Whichever one you want.
18.
18. You leap over and you like just grab onto the side with your hands and pull yourself up. You know, you're like you do like a cat land, the parkour style, and then pull yourself up on board and you're ready to go. And
Okay.
Can I do the same but on the opposite end? And I actually want to light my lantern. I have a hooded lantern from the little fire pit, and then shut the hood at first.
okay, if you
Before I
do
do
that, you're giving off light, right? Like so you're not invisible.
It's a hooded lantern, so it closes.
Oh, okay. Sure. What's your roll for your athletics or acrobatics? Your choice.
That will definitely be acrobatics. God! I feel like the last time I rolled well was maybe 2 sessions ago. I rolled a 5 total.
A 5. So you jump and you leap to the other side, and like based on like the ship sort of going up and down in the waves like this, like you just slide down and splash into the water. And you're at the base of that ship. Give me a perception check as you're jumping over.
Yeah, I haven't rolled anything higher than a 10 all session.
Oh no.
That's a 10
A 10? All right.
total. Yeah.
You don't
11.
see 11? Okay, with 11, you see the rungs up the side of the ship, so you know where you have to
Okay,
swim over
okay.
to pull yourself up.
Okay.
Golden Bear Knuckles leaps over with you, Matt.
Okay.
All right, let's go. It's, I must say, what's going to happen here? This is between you and me, okay? Do not tell anyone else.
Okay.
We have an agreement?
Yeah. Just
All right.
like.
And
What?
as he runs towards the other ship, he just starts turning and he just hulks out and just fur comes all over his body. His
Oh.
nose elongates, teeth start coming out, ears start coming out the top of him. He is a bear. Is half bear, half man. This werebear creature just does.
I'm gonna like stop running. I'm gonna do that thing where I'm like running full pelt, see that happen, and just kind of like slowly stop and just like watch, wide-eyed, and then shake it off and like keep running.
What was his ship name?
I don't have that right up right now. Is it important?
I don't know. Just I wonder if there was.
The werebear.
No, his name was Golden Bear Knuckles. When the question was it bear or bear? And it's both. Because the boat knew.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Is it
Yeah,
gold
to be
color?
honest.
Is a bear a golden bear?
Zip, give me a, no, it's like a Kodiak. So, sort of, I guess kind of golden. Zip, give me an attack with that barrel. So you're using a non-proficient weapon, using, so just give me a straight D20 and add either your dex or your, you add your strength. You gotta add your strength. Even though it's a projectile, it's a strength projectile.
14.
14. Okay, so it goes to the ship and it's just about to like fall and like miss it, but the ship goes down a bit and it lands on it and rolls across and like is spilling rum all over on the other side now.
Right, and I'll turn to the cook and I'll be like, fire!
All right. And so like there's this explosion of fire behind Swell and the bear. So like it's kind of covering the fact that like he turned into a bear. Like the others can't see it, but Swell, you can see this like bear with explosions behind you. Like there's a bear in front and explosions behind, and these vampires with blood dripping down their faces, turning and looking at you. Like it's pretty intense for you up there. Bug, what are you doing?
So at this point the ship is already on fire. There's no point, like, we don't need to throw more fire into the ship.
That's
right?
up to you. I mean, you could be like, that part of it is on fire, but it's a big ship, right? Like, it's not going to be like, oh, it's been destroyed. Somebody could put out that fire, right?
You put the fire in.
I put out the fire. No, I want to stay on the ship and shoot at people who do come and save the fire.
Like,
Stay put. Or how far are we? Like 100 feet away or less?
no, you're less. You're like, in order for people to jump across and throw the barrel across, you're like 5 feet.
Okay.
Or less.
I'm gonna get ready to see if anyone would jump on the ship to save.
So you're holding your action, basically.
Yeah.
What are you holding? You're holding an Eldritch Blast, or what are you doing?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Well, Eldritch Blast, you could actually, you've got it, that's like 120 feet. You could shoot someone.
Yeah, do I see people fighting already? Or if they're close?
From here, no, because the sloop is lower,
Right.
and then the vampire's ship is a little taller, and then the other one is much taller, and all the fights happening on the deck, basically 2 decks higher than you, right? So,
Yeah.
because you're specifically, if this boat keeps going, if it's like, yeah, we don't want to be beside this boat, let's go, then you'll be able to ping them off from a distance. But if you stay here, you won't be able to.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stay on the boat and then.
And ready an Eldritch Blast if anybody comes,
Yeah.
if you see someone.
Or
Okay.
yeah.
Like if somebody's trying to put the fire out?
Yeah. Or if I see anyone.
So let's do a proper initiative order now, or who's going to be going in what order?
15.
19.
19.
That's a good roll.
Burial.
It is.
Zip got a.
Whoa. 20.
1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Zip got a 1. Okay.
Hide from throwing that barrel.
I got it.
And
Nat 20 as well.
and Bug.
Why is it whenever I get a 1, you get a 20?
Just the way the universe works. It's got to.
It's going to even
Balance.
it out. Yeah.
Bug. What was your
15.
initiative?
15.
Okay. All right. Swell, you're up first.
Okay. So, ship is on fire behind me. I'm going to run across the planks to get to. So if I put myself on the little boat, can I run across the planks to get amidst like a bunch of the
Yeah.
the vampires?
Let me add some vampires in here.
Are they like up the back of the ship, like up in the like where the wheel is, steering wheel?
Okay, the red circle is the best fighting vampire. And we're going to use...
Like that's a vampire that can fight well?
Yeah. And then over here, this circle is a good fighting knight. And then the X's are going to be other knights.
Okay.
Wait, the vampire, the circle is their best fighter vampire?
Yeah. The circles are the best fighters.
What's
and
the yellow patch on the small ship?
that's going to be the fire. I'm going to make that red. All right. So, the yellow thing is Golden Bare Knuckles.
How big is our ship compared to their ship?
Our ship is probably like...
Nice, nice.
Got a little baby ship.
Yeah. That's why you go so much faster, or much more
Wee
maneuverable.
buddy.
Okay. So swell.
I'm just trying to figure out how big each undead that can see. Oh, within 30 feet. Okay. Okay. So
Dun 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 dun.
okay. So yeah, if I just kind of like run across into the middle of the ship. Oh, why can't I move that? Annoying. I'm not going to get all of them, but I'm going to get a bunch of them. 5, 10. I think I'd actually be like there, like in that square.
You know, I realized I just made a big mistake, and I
Okay.
want to fix something that I made the mistake-wise. And it's just a story mistake, which is I described the vampires as being pale, and they are not pale. They are orangey skinned, like just very like leathery, like they've been people who have been living out in the sun the entire time. I don't know why I forgot my description of the sun vampires, but yes, they are.
I'm curious about sun vampires because, like, if they're just like inverse vampires, when the sun goes down, do they just die?
Yeah, they die when they see the moon.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to find out if you show it your butt.
Okay.
Oh.
Like, does anyone
I'm
know?
not pale enough for that to work.
Does anyone like know them in the past? Like, can we do a history check to know their weakness, type of thing?
Yeah, you can do a check. I know that Esporial has already found out some stuff and hasn't really known much. But if you want to do a check for Bug, we can.
So yeah, I'm going to kind of run across the thing and grab my holy symbol and basically like put my hammer up in the air, and as I say the prayer, bring the hammer down and like hit the deck and cast Turn Undead. Each undead that can see or hear me within 30 feet makes a wisdom saving throw.
All right, and what level is immune? What are you able
It
to
doesn't
turn up
say,
to?
it just says any undead. Each undead
Okay.
that can see or hear you. I think that's destroy undead that you're thinking about.
Okay.
I don't get for a while, so it's DC 13. Wisdom save.
Check how many there are.
That's all the ones on the left. And maybe 2 on the right.
Okay. I'm going to read up that power, but some of them, I believe, look like they're turned. I thought there was a certain amount of hit dice that you're only able to turn. If I recall.
Well, I've got it here on D&D Beyond. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer. censoring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you, they can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take any reactions. So for its action, it can only use the dash action to try and escape from an effect that prevents it from you.
I'm, I guess, thinking of older versions of Dungeons and Dragons. It's been a while since I've got a cleric who turned undead. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's destroy undead. It like happens after like I think it's like CR quarter or something. I can't remember.
Okay. A bunch of them they don't move on your turn, they move on their turn?
It uses their turn, it says, I think, so
Okay.
it must be their turn.
Okay, so some of them look put out and some of them do not. Some of them look angry and some of them look scared. As you call down Sunder's rage.
Ooh. But yeah, it ends if they take damage.
And then next in the initiative order is Espurial, who's at the bottom.
Yep. Am I still invisible?
I don't think you've done an attack, so I think you are, yeah.
Okay. I guess I will paddle my way despondently over to the, at least no one saw me. Over to the little rungs and start climbing up, trying to do so as stealthily as possible.
Alright. You can put yourself at the top of the boat.
Okay. Do I need to make a stealth
running
check?
around.
I don't know.
Do you need to make a what, sorry?
A stealth check?
No. Nobody is currently paying attention to you. It would become relevant when you get closer to somebody else,
Okay.
but nobody's looking on that side of the ship right now. So you're probably closer to where the hatch is. And
Yeah,
not
I
where
was
the
definitely
fire
trying
is.
to go. Yeah, trying to go more toward the.
And then we're going to go to Bug. So Bug is holding an action. Did you want to change it?
Oh, no, but I did do a history check and got 10. Do
Okay.
I get anything? Do I learn anything?
You know nothing about the. I mean, Zunk might have told you something about how there are sun vampires. He heard that there's such a thing in the Glass Dominion, but he didn't elaborate.
Okay.
Sorry, do I have time to have a look around and see if it looks like there's like a cabin or anything nearby?
There is a cabin at either end of the boat, and there's like you could try to go below deck.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, Isburia, you're on the pirate ship?
Yes.
But you can't see East Boreal because you are East Boreal's invisible.
Oh, okay. So me and Zip
I mean,
are
there's
still on the original ship.
Yes.
I'm still gonna just hold my action.
Okay. So then it is the vampire's turn, and there was one of them that was paying attention to you guys and was hiding on the deck of their ship, and is now leaps aboard your guys' ship. So as the vampire is leaping towards your ship, where Zip and Bug are, I want you to make your attack with your Eldritch Blasts. Ready to attack those off.
No, I got a 6 to hit.
6. You're too panicked, like, I didn't expect it to be so close. And this vampire is like, leaps down and lands on your boat and moves towards you guys and is going to try and attack Zip, the one who threw the barrel. What's Zip's armor class?
18.
So they run over to you and they've got these long claws, orange, like really like they've spent a life out in the sun, droopy skin, jumps at you and like clawing at you, draws blood with both claws, tries to bite at you but misses with the bite. You're too fast for it, and you're going to take 16 damage.
I'm going to use one of my new maneuvers, riposte.
Yep.
With my superiority die. So I guess I don't have my sword out right now, so I guess I'm just going to try and punch it.
Okay. Give me an unarmed hit. You can draw the weapon.
Okay, I'll do that then.
So it's like you.
13?
13. It ducks out of the way. It's a very fast moving thing. Let's see. I'm going to move some vampires away from Swell now. Actually, you know, they go as far away as they can. They dive in the water.
Yeah. They run.
And this one goes to move, but these two attack and hit it, and so it stays. And this one gets away too. So you've got 3 gone vampires and one that would have been turned, but they decided to take their opportunity attacks, flanking it and deal it some more damage. And
So
then
how
the
many
other-
in total got...
You can see 3 went overboard.
Okay.
All right. And those 2 guys go down. So there are 2 less of the ship's crewmen, as they have been the vampires, attack with their, claws, or just clawing at whatever they can, and whatever's near them, and they've just, arterial sprays, spraying everywhere, and like the deck is getting wet and slippery from the amount of blood that's been spilled here, and you can hear the vampire at the top of the ship, like on the foredeck, is like saying, "You should surrender. Your paltry god will not protect you from us." And then it is Golden Bear Knuckles' turn. And he's like swinging away, but completely missing. He's slipping and sliding on the blood. And then we go to Zip's turn.
All right, well, I'm just going to swing at this gross vampire again. See if I can hit him this time. Nat 20!
Nice.
That is obviously a hit.
11 damage. And then I'm going to use my action surge. I might hit him again.
Now, if I recall, that is not a magic weapon, correct?
It's not, no.
All right, it doesn't do as much damage as you were hoping.
Oh dear. 21 that time.
21 to hit. That's a hit.
And that is 9 extra damage, or whatever it is.
Okay. And does that end your turn?
That's it.
Okay. Then it is the crew's turn to go last. and I did some rolls for the crew on the ship, and they're looking beleaguered. They are not doing well. They are like breathing heavy. They're like, hooray! Assistance! You're a little late, but we'll take it. But they're swinging, and like their arms are not, you know, they're not able to really get a lot of good swings in. They look like they've been fighting this battle for some time. And your crew is I think they're throwing more bottles at the ship, and Elreth is saying, "Get this thing off our ship, dudes. We're gonna try and take care of the other thing." And then your buddy, the Secton, what's his name here? Blood-soaked Halo, as the ship calls him, flies up into the vampire ship and just has a dagger and just goes up through the sail, and it's cutting the sail so that it won't be able to get away. And then we go to the top of the round. Swell, it's your turn.
Alright, so after I've cast that, I'm gonna turn and try and find the guy that's calling out about surrendering. Can I see him from where I am?
Yeah, he's the reddish-orange circle.
At the fore of the ship?
Yeah.
Or the different parts of the ship. Okay, then I'll what am I gonna do?
While you're considering that, I'm telling Eastboyle you're on deck, and I also want you to make a perception check.
15.
15.
Okay.
You notice the sprites are pouring bottles of stuff on the surface of the ship too. You can see like floating bottles just pouring alcohol.
So it looks like the effort is going relatively well so far?
The fire making, yes.
Yeah, okay.
However, you also hear shouts from below deck. They're like, "Oh no! It's on fire! Oh no!"
Okay.
I'm gonna run up, so I'm within range, and cast Sacred Flame at the main one.
Okay.
The Dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay, save.
13. Okay.
I rolled a 19. So I figured that was going to be a save.
Okay.
And then you end your turn beside the vampire, right?
Yep.
So you can help.
That's it.
Eastboyle, you're up. Bug, you're going to be after this.
Is main vampire guy within how close is any fire near me?
Sorry.
Like,
How
is
close
there
is
any
any-
fire that's is there any fire that's pretty close to me right now?
You're like, you can see where it is on the, can you see the map?
Okay, so it's
You're like-
it's still all over there.
Yeah. You're about 20 feet away from the fire and about 55 feet away from the head vampire.
Okay. And the cabin is very close by, right?
Well, there's a cabin that goes into, like, the captain's quarters is blocked by fire now, and the one that isn't the
yeah.
captain's quarters is pretty close. And then there's the hold that you can look down into.
Okay. I think I am going to go into the front, like the aft cabin, duck into it to see if there's anyone, after checking to see if anyone's in there.
Okay. So you open the door carefully, gently. You look inside, and it looks like just a storage room.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna duck into it, just to hide for a second, and while I'm there, unfortunately this will drop invisibility, but I'm going to cast, actually, Oh yeah, okay. I'm going to cast Ritual Serpent again, and tell it to stay within the range that it can exist within me, but to push the fire along on the ship to the places that have been soaked with rum. So basically, I just want it to be a firebug.
Okay.
And then I think that's probably going to be all of my stuff that I can do right now.
Okay. Bug, you're up.
The other vampire is still on the ship, right?
Yeah, there's like right in front of Zip. You're like 10 feet away from it.
If I want to use my packed weapon, do I have to summon it as like an extra action? Like I won't be able to summon it and attack.
I honestly, Matt, can you help out with that?
It takes an action to summon it, unfortunately. So, I don't know if you're okay with it. Like, we had a bit of time ahead of, like, as we're coming up to the ship. You might have, like...
If I summoned it before, do I just carry it around or does it disappear?
It's like an actual, like, once you've summoned it, it's like you have a weapon in your hand, basically. It's like, it's not...
Okay, because I think I summoned it before to show it off, so...
I feel like
Because I will have it.
You as a new player with a new ability wouldn't necessarily remember it, but I feel like Bug would have, so we can say that you summoned it while you were getting closer to the ship.
Okay, well then I'll use my potato morning star and I'm gonna try to hit it.
Alright, so if you come up behind it from where Zip is, you are both now flanking it, which means you roll 2 times and take the best roll.
Okay.
You'll have advantage.
I got a 14.
You rolled 2 times and that was your best?
Yeah.
Alright, so you come up behind it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get it. And it turns around and goes, ah! And you go, ah! It was ready for you.
Oh,
Heard you
wow.
creeping up on it.
So I don't hit it?
Yeah, 14 is not unfortunately a hit.
Okay.
Too wily.
Yeah.
Damn
Alright.
vampires.
Speaking of vampires, it's the vampire's turn. And it turns back to Zip and it's like, ah! And it sends one claw across your face and you just barely get away, step out of it. But then that was just sort of a feint to get you to put out your tummy, and the other hand goes right into your gut and like, and scores a crit. And you double over in pain. It goes to bite you in your neck, but like you doubled over too far, and it got a 1, and it totally misses you on the bite attack. So miss, crit.
That means it knocks itself out, right?
Yeah, you bonk heads with the vampire.
Bonk heads.
It's like, what? So that crit on the claw is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
I'm
Oddly
still
less
up,
damage than
but
regular.
just barely. Good lord.
Okay, and then the vampires on the ship. See how they do.
Is it a full action to have, like, taken the shield out, or is it... I can't remember.
You can have it as a bonus action.
I would have taken it out. I'm just not used to having a shield to use. But
Sure.
I'm okay to, like, leave it until next turn.
No, you can have it. It's no problem. What is your armor class with shield?
It's 18. 16
So-
without.
The one you're next to does turn its aggression towards you,
Okay.
and it, claws at you, but you have that shield out, and its nails scrape along the shield arm, and it shudders, and then the other one comes from the other side, and it gets right in your neck and pulls it out, and it tries to bite at you, tries to pull your arm that's got the weapon in it. It tries to bite at that, but you pull it out of the way in time, so you're only going to get hit 1 time, and that's for 8 damage.
8?
Yeah. and the one on the top of the ship just, kills another
Hold
one
on.
of the.
There's two attacking me or just one?
Just one.
Okay.
It gets 3 attacks. Two claws, 1 bite. So the vampire at the top of the ship slays another one of the mercenaries up there. So it's going to be Bear, and then Zip, it's going to be your turn in a minute. So I'm just going to do Golden Bear's attacks first. Oh my gosh. I rolled a 6 and a 1. So he again, looks very impressive, does not deliver on the goods here.
Man,
It's
Golden
probably
Bear
his life story.
That's why
Probably
he's
his life story too.
That's why he survived the last encounter. Was like, he didn't hit anything and nothing hit him, and he's like, I just got to get out of here. Yeah, Zip, you're up.
All right, I'm just gonna wail on this vampire again.
Okay.
20 dirty,
It's a hit.
and that is 11 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to second wind, so that I can get a little bit of hit points back.
Okay. Question:
Alright.
Does Boxy have any healing potions?
He has the slime.
He has the
Dirty.
slime.
That's
But
pretty
does-
much.
We still have that. We still have
No,
one-
isn't that healing?
a couple of healing potions somewhere.
I know. I
Wait,
thought you
does-
guys have them on you. I wasn't sure whether Boxy had one. I don't think he does.
Wait, I thought the slime heals. Do they not? Do they
No,
not?
it made you feel great,
Oh.
but it did not regenerate hit points. And I don't think we've talked about, like, when you weren't here for a week, you guys fought another slime monster, and I let Priscilla control your character, and so you ate another slime thing. And it also
Oh, yeah.
made you feel really good. It was delicious. It was outside of the Wood Witch's cottage, and it tasted really sweet and delicious, like candy,
Oh.
but did not restore hit points either.
I see. This whole time. I thought he did.
Okay, so let's see how this guy does.
Wait, so the potions that Swell made and purchased, like, he kept on himself?
No,
Whoever wrote them
distributed
down.
I have a healing potion. I don't know where I got
Yeah,
it
I was
from.
gonna
but-
say, I'm pretty sure Zip got given one because she was the only
Yeah,
person.
like, a while ago, you guys made some, right?
Oh yeah.
There was
we
that,
would've
and there was that other
distributed
one that we found at what's its name's wizard lair.
I think
Oh,
we
there's
The
buff
bought
thing,
some.
dude.
We
I know-
bought one or two when we were in town.
Yeah, but like I don't know who wrote them down, and it sounds like nobody wrote down in Boxy.
Yeah, I'm not keeping track of what inventory is going inside the fathomless box of wonders.
I thought, yeah.
I have track of the stuff that's in Boxy that East has claim on, but not like general stuff.
Yeah.
It's basically
Unless
unless Boya writes down that Boxy has something, Boxy doesn't have something. If it's an important object, if you can pull just about anything out of Boxy. Like maybe you could have pulled out a bow and arrow, or maybe some paints, or a picture frame, or whatever. Right? Like there are some other weird things you can pull out, but not like a magic item, unless you specifically put it in.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, what happens with the rest of the crew is the green dot over here, who is this female elf who is dressed in like plate armor, or like a breastplate, is light shining, and you can see like there's a symbol of Lundariel carved into this really fancy breastplate, and she is spinning around and just and is making is carving up the vampire in front of her pretty well. It looks like it's on its last legs, not quite dead. The two guys you're beside, Swell, they give it their all, and they strike one hit on that vampire, but it is like there are a bunch of other ones that miss, and so that the fight's going okay, but not great from their angle. We're back to Swell.
Okay. I'm gonna do a hit. Attack him with my warhammer.
All right.
And that is a 16 to hit.
That's a hit.
Right. Only one-handed, but that is a total of 10 bludgeoning damage, which I'm sure
Alright.
doesn't deal as much damage.
Yep, well, you expect it to not do as much damage, so it does as much as you expected it to not do. Does that make sense?
Yep. And then for my bonus action, 60 feet. No, you're too far away. Sorry. Do either of these two guys that I'm fighting with seem particularly worse off?
They both look pretty bad. Give me a perception check. Or insight, whichever you prefer.
I roll perception. It's an 18.
You're pretty sure that the guy on the left is worse for wear.
I'll cast Healing Word on him.
Alright.
It's a 1d4 plus my spellcast. So, where are Healing Word?
Eastbrill, you're going to be up next.
So he gets back 6 hit points.
Okay. Eastbrill, it's your turn. Bug, you're on deck.
So I am going to try to sneak out of this area and make my way across to the other ship. Can I go far enough so as to get within 30 feet of the big vampire dude on the deck? It doesn't have to be, I mean, this is just like line of sight, so not necessarily can I reach him.
If you went to the front of this ship, you could reach him. But if you go onto the other ship, you will, because you have to go back and then across, you won't be close enough.
Okay,
I
then
just
I
want
will.
to check that those vampires that jumped overboard kept going.
I mean, you don't see them.
Okay.
Like, they're
Because they have to like keep. Doesn't matter.
yeah. So I've moved them off the map so that they're not involved in what's going on. So
I am going to then duck out of there and take a look around, judge that I can't get close enough by, and also there's like a lot of fighting there, which doesn't look good to get close to. So I'm going to go up to the prow of this boat instead, or the prow of the ship. You're talking about like right here, right?
yeah, it's sort of around there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll stand on that, draw out my rapier, and say, "Au contraire, I think you are the one who should be surrendering to us, and we will no longer harm you if you do not harm us." And with the au contraire, I think you should be the one surrendering. Wait. Oh no, sorry. Let me rephrase a little bit. With the au contraire, and then I'll say, "Your ship is on fire. It will continue to be on fire. You have multiple holy people who are committed to fighting against you now." And with that, I will. I'm going to use my unsettling words.
Okay. What do I need to do?
So I need to roll a bardic inspiration die, which is a d6.
Okay.
Which let me do that on D&D Beyond. Okay, so it's a 3. And then the creature must subtract the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes before the start of my next turn. And then after that, I'm going to say, I think you should be the one to find out to us. If you do not harm us, we shall not harm you. And I'm going to cast Suggestion, which is a Wisdom 13 save.
Just looks at you and goes, "What?" He heard you.
Even I'm yelling? No, okay.
He heard
Oh,
you.
he's mocking me.
He's just mocking you.
Okay.
Not viciously, but I rolled a
just normally.
yeah. I rolled a 19, so even with a minus,
yeah.
still not enough.
That's my Hail Mary.
Sorry. But you are definitely visible because you cast the Unseen Servant, which made you visible.
Oh yeah, no, of course. So.
Bug, your turn.
I'm gonna. So do I still have the advantage with the flank?
Yes.
All right. I guess I'm gonna try again.
Ooh,
And
Bug, kill him! Kill him! Or he's probably gonna kill me.
19.
19's a hit.
And damage is a 5.
5.
But it's the full 5.
It's considered a magic weapon, is that correct?
Oh yeah.
Attack blade?
Yeah. It's a count as magical. Yeah.
Alright.
My magic potato. I swing it as hard as I could.
Alright. It's sort of wobbly from having bumped heads with Zip, and like you just put it in its back and take it out, and you know, it's like a little sprinkler of blood coming up the back.
Just a little paper cut. Does it
do you
look
this thing does not look super injured yet.
Oh, I do have a question with about a spell. If I have a spell that's Earth Find, is it just like it says it's 1 minute, or a concentration duration concentration up to 1 minute? Is it like one turn? Like they're bound?
No, it would be one. It'd be like several rounds, as long as you concentrate on it.
Oh, okay. So they're just like they can't move if I concentrate on holding them.
Yeah, I think they get a saving throw each turn though to try and break it.
Okay, got it.
But then you don't have to concentrate on it if they break it. You can switch to a different spell if you had another spell slot.
I see.
After Bug comes the vampires. It is not happy with Zip healing herself, and it's trying to shrug off what Bug is doing, and slashes at Zip for 8 damage, and then leans in and actually does get a bite. Like your sword arm is out, and it sinks its fangs right into like here, and
Is it gonna turn into a vampire? No.
I think Zip's gonna turn into a vampire.
actually, you know what? The first, you don't take damage from the claw. Sorry, my mistake.
Oh, okay.
The claw is to grapple you, to pull you in, and then it bites you. And that does. Let's see. $13 damage.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Okay. And it looks like it feels better from this, like it healed itself
Oh no.
from having drank the blood. In fact, at this point, it looks completely uninjured.
This is unacceptable.
Then there's the vampire up by Swell. It is not happy with you. But there's nothing it can do. It can't, because it's got the 2 guys on the side, you know, attacking it, and you've got that shield out. It can't get past your defenses. It's like it's unable to break.
That's good.
All right. This guy. Okay. The vampire actually, the one that's fighting the elven hero, scores some lucky blows, and you hear her like like being injured in the battle, and like is sort of down on one knee, and you can see like that vampire has got like blood on its face. This one is moved to flank, and this guy is now flanking over here, so he can get advantage. And then that ends the vampire's turn. So now Golden Bear is going to move and flank. So now he has advantage. So you should be able to hit now. Finally scores a crit. All right.
Yay!
Finally.
And that one that got the good shots in on the sea captain or the mercenary hero, just he comes up behind it, just clocks it really hard in the back of the head, and it's like, really dazed from this punch. And it takes the full damage because its claws, I believe, count as magical weapons. Okay. It's Zip's turn.
All right.
So you can make a death saving throw. Actually, you know what? I didn't have the crew do something last round. They were waiting to help.
They're just watching.
So
They're just still standing there like, interesting.
they're like,
Eating popcorn and drinking rum, just like, cool.
when you got knocked to the ground, the guy with the black hair, he ducks down, grabs the potion from your belt. Do you have one, Zip?
I do.
And pours it down your throat.
Ooh. Okay.
So you can roll your potion, and then you're up on your turn because he was holding that action.
4d4. That's 4. Oh. Oh, shit.
And then he rolls away.
Combat rolls away. He's like, yeah.
Okay. So 15.
It's like, you guys ever watch a movie where there's like not one ninja, because the one ninja is good and they fight, but like there's a team of ninjas and they're all just sort of
Yeah. They're just
doing
kind of
this.
like,
Like, it's not my job to go in first. You go get them. I don't get paid enough for this. I don't have dental. And these guys are not interested in fighting. They're not fighters, but they'll support you like that.
Oh. Okay. So I'm up. I'm gonna attack.
Go for
I
it.
can only do one thing. That's 17
It's a hit.
and 9 damage. Take that.
That's only one hit.
Yes.
You have 2 attacks?
Do I have 2 attacks?
Do you have 2 attacks? I don't know.
No, only once per short rest. Can I do my action surge?
Okay. Yeah, it looked, like it's healed up. And then you do a little bit more damage to it. Then we're going to do the rest of the crew, so they start readying actions again. Elrith goes, heck with it, and lights one of those cocktails and just throws it at the vampire. And it's like, ah! And it's now on fire on the boat.
The one that's on our boat?
Yeah. And the tiefling cook is going to take his lead and also gets a great hit and throws another bottle at it. Okay. And then the elven hero is weakened and is fighting poorly. And the ones beside Swell, like you're seeing, they're basically they're on their last legs. They barely have any breath left, and they're not doing a good job attacking this vampire. They're mostly put it into sort of blocking it and sort of playing defense, but their actual sword arm attacks are so weak that the vampire's just like pushing them away. And then the one that's on the main vampire, or the head vampire guy, is not doing well. But the guy beside you, Swell, like the one behind you, does score a lucky hit on one of them. With that, it's after 10 o'clock, and that's the end of the combat round. I'm going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger of, will you guys be able to beat these regenerating vampires on a boat that's on fire with a lot of spell slots, used up?
I'm going to make a prediction that is based entirely upon an educated guess that the answer is no. Sorry, cliffhanger gone.
I don't know. You guys, you might pull it off. Yeah. It's a tough battle, but
We'll
it
have
is.
to figure out how to do it.
You've got a week to think about it.
Yeah.
We'll strategize.
Something that would be good to pull out of Boxy. Something to ask your compatriots to do.
This
I don't know.
box is the moment to shine, to transform into a impressive beast and kill everybody.
Come on, Boxy. We're counting on you to save the day.
Transform.
Yeah, well, Boxy can level up, but you guys just aren't doing the things you need to do to help Boxy level up, unfortunately, because you don't know what they are.
Oh. I gotta talk to Boxy more.
Start petting him, taking him for walks, feeding him lots of stuff, nutritional things.
Yeah,
instead
like
of the
he's basically
jellies.
he's a Tama Boxy.
Yeah. I have been spending too much time on the map page and not enough time on the drawing page. I didn't draw very much tonight, but what I saw of your guys' drawings were pretty fun. I enjoyed Swell's or Matt's drawing of the treasure chest on the front of the ship early on.
Oh
when
yeah.
you're on the prow of the boat, and Zip sleeping in her purple pants. But I missed a bunch of it, unfortunately. Yeah, anybody have a favorite moment from tonight's game?
I liked hawking that barrel.
If only I had bless, we could have blessed the rum, and then it could have sanctified their ship. We couldn't return to it.
Holy rum, holy fire.
Exactly. I don't have a lot of
finally
radiant
answered.
energies.
And well, it finally answered the question as to why the rum is gone.
We used it to burn a bunch of vampires.
Yeah.
Only one barrel's gone over, really.
The transformation was pretty cool and surprising.
Yeah.
Bear. Werebear.
That was fun.
There, bear.
If only he hadn't been so useless.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know yet. When he comes back and tells you how it went.
It's going to be like, hey, you need to get out. Good looking but useless elf is my shtick.
All right. With that, I will say good evening. And thank you for joining us. We have been Magical Marker. You hopefully were entertained. I don't have a catchphrase for this week because I don't know. Anybody got one?
May you be entertained.
Are you not entertained? All right. Have a good evening, everyone, or day, or wherever you are. We'll see you next week. Take care.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.